Finally back on Behind the Gloves with another interview. I'm joined by Eddie Hearn, post the Sheffield show. First of all, thank you for having it in Sheffield. I only live up the road, so it's so easy. Listen, first of all, I want to start off with your new Doncaster star, Terry Harper. Kid Galahad said she could be better than Katie Taylor because she's younger and she has more of a pro style. Would you agree with that?
I think Katie Taylor's an amazing fighter. It's very difficult to compare anyone to Katie Taylor, but Terry Harper, there's so much more to come from her. I think tonight you only saw 40 or 50%. It's just a confidence thing, such an amazing occasion. I mean, the atmosphere was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Beat a very, very good world champion tonight. I think she's a huge star.
In all fairness, it was louder than when the main event came up.
I think sometimes that happens when you get that loudness. You know, it sort of deflates a little bit for the main event. And Kell Brook's a huge star. And make no mistake, the 7,000 that came tonight were to see Kell Brook, but also 1,000 came from Dennerby just to see Terry Harper, and many others did as well, and that's going to continue to grow. She
mentioned America in Fight Week, and she mentioned it there. I asked her outside, I said, Heather Hardy, MSG, maybe May, and she was like, that's the one, that's what I want.
It is, but I want to make sure she's ready for that kind of experience and occasion. Like, I don't want to just throw her into an occasion where she, freezes and gets beat. So step by step, there's other defences out there, there's unification fights, there's Heather Hardy, etc. But she's going to be a major star.
Kell, obviously a good performance from him getting the stoppage win. As his promoter, what was your sort of checklist that you needed to see from Kell?
I knew he'd be rusty. You can't not be rusty having been out of the ring for 14 months. But he wasn't too rusty, and that come off quite quickly. Very heavy-handed as always. I was most pleased by the fitness, and by him sitting on the stool after 5 rounds, not even breathing. After the way he's made weight in the past, and what we've had to go through, and it was just nice to see him in great condition. Yeah. And his timing was never going to be 1,000,000% tonight, but I thought the performance was much better than the Zarafa performance, which was 14 months ago.
Kid Galahad back again, a good win against Marrero. But we got Josh Warrington possibly making a defence soon. So what's going to be on the cards for him? Because he really wants the IBF title.
I think he needs to get out again, probably in May, something like that, and just we expect Warrington to have another defence around that time, and then he's going to have to fight Kid Galahad. So he will get a shot. There's other fights as well. Kanzu, Gary Russell, who fights tonight as well. But he wants to fight for that IBF world title, and no one can take that away from him now.
Just moving on. Earlier in the week, I think it was a couple of days ago, Bob Arum said that there's 10 lightweights better than Devin Haney. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
He's quite spiteful, Bob, on Devin Haney. I think he wishes he would have signed him so badly. I think really when you talk about the top 5 or 6 lightweights in the world, you talk about Lomachenko, talk about Lopez, talk about Campbell, talk about Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis. These are the top lightweights in the world. So, I think it's just a bit sour grapes from Bob. I think he's probably trying to pull his plonker a little bit as well. But as far as Bob's concerned, there are only 2 lightweights in the world, and that's Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko. So Devin's going great. We saw the Broner stuff last night. It's a fight we're looking at trying to make maybe.
Is that realistic?
I think so. I think it's a great fight. It's a great fight for Devin. He'd have to move up in weight. And Broner said he'd make 135, no chance. But, could we make that fight at 140 or 142 or 43? Bit of a risk for Devin, but he told me last night he's up for that fight. He'd gladly take it.
I'm sure they were friends. Well, how did that even come about? I saw a picture
from somewhere. I don't know. And then he DM'd me, and I weren't going to put it out. But then I remember he put my email out not so long ago, so I thought, fuck it. I spoke to Devin, and then I actually messaged Adrian and said, I'm going to post this, and he went, go for it. So I did, and it went mad, crazy.
20 million?
Yeah, crazy. No, well, that's not happening. But you can tell he's still a huge draw because the noise it created was off the scale.
For sure. Dubois and Joyce got announced yesterday. You were quite strong in the fact that you said that was not a pay-per-view card.
Basically, people use now clickbait for headlines, right? So what happened there was Seconds Out said, I presume this will be ridiculed as a pay-per-view. Yeah. If you actually watch the interview, what I said was, if I was doing that card and put on that card with the undercard that you will see coming up, because they can't build a card like us because they don't have the talent, right? I would be ridiculed for that being a pay-per-view. So I presume it will be ridiculed. That was it. Yeah. If that fight had a really strong card of other world champions and other big names, I think you got an argument for it being pay-per-view. Yeah. They just don't have the depth to put that as a pay-per-view card. You'll see when they announce the undercard. It's going to be toilet. So, not toilet, but toilet compared to our pay-per-view undercards. Watch, how we do things. So, but it is a good fight. I've never not said it's a good fight. It's 2 undefeated, talented, British level heavyweights. I know they're novices, but they're good fighters.
Who's winning?
Dubois.
Bye.
Yeah, early. Same as Gorman. Because Joyce is too slow. And you can't say, oh yeah, he's got a good engine though, like, you know, if he can get past 4 or 5 rounds. It don't matter. He can't deal with speed. And Dubois has speed. We don't know what his whiskers are like. But Sam Jones says he's never been hit on the whiskers.
Fair enough. And I just want to talk about my favourite type of boxing, which is YouTube boxing. Jake Paul versus AnesonGib was last week in Miami, which was a strange fight. But what's going to happen next with Jake? Because he actually seems...
We just have to decide, like, once again, the numbers were just so... Just to put it into context, on the Sky Sports YouTube platform, 2.9 million people watch Jake Paul against AnesonGib, right? 1.4 million watch Joshua Ruiz. Right, 12,000 watched Tevin Farmer against Jojo Diaz, which was a really good fight for the world title. Okay, on the night, the audience on Sky, coming in at 4:30 in the morning, was 10 times bigger than it would have been if that fight weren't on the undercard. But it weren't a great fight, right? So I have to make a decision. I know that it's bringing a new audience to the sport, but my next decision is: do we continue to put these fights on professional cards?
Just have like a YouTube card, you're saying?
But I don't want to do that in the first place. But I have to do it because broadcasters are saying to me, Eddie, these numbers are incredible. We want more.
But surely you'd want a YouTube fight on a professional card so it brings more attention.
But that's the whole idea, right? But now I'm getting criticism saying, well, they should be on their own fucking cards. You know, mainly from fighters. But the fighters have got to understand as well, they could learn a lot from these guys. Not in the ring, definitely not in the ring, but out of the ring. And you can't, like, if 10 times as many people watch that card from Miami, every fighter that was on the card got 10 times as many eyeballs. You know, and the cynic will go, yeah, but they're not boxing fans. Yeah, well, fucking doesn't matter. They could be. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And, you know, I don't know whether I'm going to now say, okay, because I'm only going to do one, like probably do one more this year, 2 tops, right? I'm not talking about cards, I'm talking about fights. So do I just do a YouTube card, and so the fight fans don't get the or do I just stick one on a professional show? I mean, we've got Logan Paul against Antonio Brown, which is in the rumblings. You've got Jake Paul against KSI, and they're probably the 2 to look at for 2020.
Gibbs' performance wasn't exactly aced up.
Yeah, but
he said he wants to fight again this year. Would you?
The problem is, I said to everybody in the build-up, Gibbs not very good, right? And after the fight, the next day, he was moping around the hotel. I felt really sorry for him. I went up to him, I said, how you doing? He went, yeah, not really great. I felt bad. I said, listen, at the end of the day, I said, you made a few quid, congratulations, because you built that following. I said, but you're not very good. And the other bloke can fight, and you can't. Oh, no, I had a great camp. You know, I really put and he's a lovely fella. I said, no, Gib, you can't fight. Like, you can't go, what I always said in the build-up, you can't go into an arena like that with the world watching, take your head guard off and have a fight if you can't fight. Do you know what I mean? It's like me or you going in there. You imagine how embarrassing it would be. I don't know if you can fight. I doubt you can. I definitely fucking can't, right?
I've got some hands. I'm all right.
But listen, do you imagine going in there under all that pressure with the world watching, then someone hits you with a 10-ounce glove and you're like, your legs go. Everything's going to unravel super quick. For me, that's half of the fun. Because these guys are like out there, you know, cool, got millions of followers, blah, blah. All of a sudden, oh my God, the bell goes crack. And Jake Paul can fight. And actually, KSI Logan Paul was entertaining. And KSI against Jake Paul will be entertaining because both can fight a little bit. Gibb, which weren't very good. And he froze, which didn't help. Combined not being very good with freezing equals first round KO.
All right, Eddie.
Hey, fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking the icon right here and also hit the bell button so that you can get alerts every time we upload a new video.